These are WWE superstars who transitioned to the UFC. Be sure to like and subscribe and let's get started. Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar's transition to MMA was one of global magnitude. Since he already reigned as champion in the WWE, the heavyweight superstar brought millions of fans to see his debut. At 6'3", 265 pounds of chiseled muscle, Brock overwhelming size, power, and strength secured his talent within the cage. At UFC 91, Lesnar secured the heavyweight titles within just 4 fights with a TKO victory over Randy Couture.
Declaring the winner by TKO, Brock Lesnar!
He would successfully defend his title on 2 occasions until being dismantled at UFC 121 by Cain Velasquez and Alistair Overeem. Brock then made a surprising appearance in UFC 200 against Mark Hunt and won in dominant fashion, but this fight was overturned due to a no contest due to Brock's shocking steroid usage. He then teased a super fight with DC, but it never came to life, and he would then go back to WWE and never return to the UFC again. The woman who saved women's MMA and became one of the greatest women fighters of all time, Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey had actual MMA experience before UFC and Judo and fought in Strikeforce in 2011. She was 6-0 coming to the UFC and even a Strikeforce champ. She fought for the bantamweight belt in her debut and won in dominant fashion by submission. Ronda then defended her belt 5 times, each ending in a finish and making her one of the UFC's biggest stars, and people thought she could even beat Floyd Mayweather. The hype and star power was so high, but however, she faced Holly Holm in 2015 in UFC 193. Everyone thought she was going to get another simple title defense, but she got exposed for her lack of striking when Holm outclassed Rousey and knocked her out with a head kick. This fight shocked the MMA world, seeing the most dominant champion finally lose, but she came back a year later against Amanda Nunes. People thought Ronda would look way better and reclaim her GOAT status, but she got beat even worse in this fight and quicker, which finally led to her retirement from the UFC. She then went back into WWE and hinted at UFC comeback for years, but we'll never know if she really meant it. Next we have the GOAT, CM Punk, who was one of WWE's biggest superstars, who made his transition to the UFC in 2016. He fought Mickey Gall on UFC 203 on the main card for his debut in the welterweight division, and it was highly anticipated. Everyone thought he would be a UFC champion just like his counterparts Brock Lesnar and Ronda Rousey, until Punk immediately got taken down and submitted in round 1, ending his UFC hype. In his interview, he hinted at a return, which didn't happen until 2018.
Doesn't mean I'm going to give up. It doesn't mean I'm going to stop. I will be back, believe it or not. This was the most fun I've ever had in my life.
Against Mike Jackson on UFC 225. The fans were excited and hoping for a new fighter, but CM Punk looked even worse in the octagon. The fight somehow went the distance, with Jackson winning by decision, but he got cut from the UFC just because he couldn't even finish CM Punk. This fight and performance cemented CM Punk's UFC career, and he has never said anything about a comeback ever since. Shayna Baszler, with the impressive record of 15-11 and her amazing losses over Amanda Nunes and Chris Cyborg. Shayna Baszler, who was in the WWE, decided to go to the UFC to test out her skills, and she had arguably one of the greatest transitions from WWE to UFC. She would debut at UFC 177 and would lose via round 2 TKO, and she would have one more fight in her before ultimately being cut for being too good. When WWE stars transition to the UFC, there have been some success and have been some major failures. But leave a comment down below who you'd like to see transition to the UFC next. Please subscribe, like the vid, and we love you. Bye-bye.